Hey y'all, I'm gonna start a hamburger bun recipe, and what it calls for and how you do it. I'm gonna start by adding 1 cup of milk. We're just gonna add it to a saucepan. We're gonna add a 1/4 cup of maple syrup. We're gonna add that to the saucepan. Now we're going to add a 1/4 cup of applesauce. This here replaces oil in recipes. I'm going to add that. Okay, now all you want to do is you want to turn the stove on, of course, and you don't want to boil this and you don't want to simmer it. You just want to melt this stuff through. Not that it needs melted, but if you were using butter, you would need to melt it, but you want to make it slightly warm. Okay, next we're going to add 2½ teaspoons of dry yeast. I'll show you the brand I use. This is a really good yeast here, Fleshman's. And then we're going to go ahead and add this mixture in. Now it's slightly warm, but it's not been boiling or anything like that. We're going to add that in. I'm going to mix that up. Okay, now our next step we're going to do is we're going to add an egg. Now I use this egg replacer. So for 1 egg, it's 1½ teaspoons of egg replacer with 2 tablespoons of water. But when I'm baking, I don't usually do that. I just usually add the 1½ teaspoons of the mix. And you wouldn't need to add the liquid because there's liquid right there. Recipe calls for 1 teaspoon of salt, but I'm going slightly under that because I don't want our buns too salty. Now I'm going to stir this up again. And then we're going to go ahead and start adding our flour. Okay, so the flour I'm using, it's whole wheat flour, and it's also a bread flour. It's a white bread flour. And what I do is I mix the two together, so I kind of get like a whole white wheat. I'm going to go ahead and add, there's 1 cup. I'm going to do 2 cups. I'm going to mix it up with my hands. Make sure your hands are clean. You want this dough to be slightly sticky, but tacky, not, you don't want it too smooth, because if it's smooth, when you get bread recipes or bun recipes smooth, you want that to be your white bread. But if it's wheat, you want it to be slightly tacky. Just keep mixing, then I'll have to add a little more flour as we go, but I'll come right back. Okay, so I mixed the 2 cups there of flour in here. Now what you want to do is you're going to let it sit for about 2 or 3 minutes. See, it's not ready, but you have to let it sit for 2 or 3 minutes. Let that wheat flour soak up the liquid, and we'll come back after that. Okay, so we let that rest about 2 minutes or 3 minutes. Now we're going to go ahead and gradually add more flour. It said the recipe calls for 3½ to 2 to 3½. But we want this just to get to form a ball. So this is nice. You just knead it as you go. You don't want to add too much flour, and you don't want too little flour. Just the right texture. You want this dough to be slightly on the sticky side, but you want it more tacky, if that makes sense. Okay, now my dough's starting to it is slightly sticky, but so far we used 2 whole cups, and then this is the 3rd cup. And you see right here, it's quite not used up, so we're going to go ahead. I put some in here because I'm filming with one hand, so it's a little tough to knead it and all that with one hand. But we're gonna give it a go. try to make a nice ball. It's coming together nicely. Then you get this dough that's on your fingers, you got to get off. Okay, now I added a little more flour on top. I'm just going to keep working this until it is, like I said, tacky but not sticky. It shouldn't take too much longer, honestly. Okay, so for my flour concoction I have here, I use 2 cups and then this little bit. So it's almost 3 cups, but not quite. And I got me a nice consistency. Now you want to cover this and let it double in size. I poured it into a different container from this cup. This is how much I had left. So it wasn't quite 2.5 cups. See? Hey guys, we're back. Here's what the dough looks like. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and bring it out. Now it didn't say the recipe did not call to flour the surface, so I'm hoping this will be working all right. This will work out all right. I'm just going to take the dough out. Take the dough right out onto your counter, and we're going to portion it up. Cut it into 8s. That's for the bigger type buns. So here's kind of how I do mine. I just kind of make a little log type thing. And then I get my trusty scraper and I go ahead and cut. Now, when I hold them in my hands to make the rolls, I might have to borrow some dough off of here because you see that's kind of small. And then I'll portion them up and I'll be right back. Okay, so I portioned them up just by weights. You just kind of pick the dough up and feel it. You know, if it feels heavier than this piece, then you give a little bit here, a little bit there. Now we're going to roll them into balls. I'm just going to try to show you with one hand. And we're going to put these balls on parchment paper. If you have a baking stone, the recipe said she does it by a baking stone, but I don't. So that's how we're going to do ours. So the recipe didn't call for this, but I like to add just a teeny tiny bit of cornmeal to the bottom, real lightly. This just gives your buns time to not stick. Now I'm going to do that with all the pieces. Okay, so here's what I do. I'm just going to show you like this. So you get it on your counter, you flatten it out, and then you bring the corners in and you roll it like this inward towards your body till you get a nice roll. Then once you get it in your hand, kind of squeeze it and then roll it like this. It's kind of like you're pinching. That's how I do mine. Just keep doing that till you get it nice round shape. And then there you go. Okay, now once you have their balls, then you can just gently press them down a little. Sort of flatten them. Just like that. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to let these rest. We're going to cover them back up for 30 minutes. Let them proof. I'm going to leave them right here on top of the oven. It's going at 375 degrees. Half an hour, and then we'll be back. Guys, let's look at our buns. Our hamburger buns. Okay, they're nice size. Here's the size of my hand so you can see they're pretty nice size. Now all we have to do is pop them into the oven. And we are going to bake them. It said between 12 and 18 minutes. So I always kind of go in the middle, like 15. But I'll check it at 12 just to see. We'll be back. While those are in the oven, I went over and I found this in my spice rack. It's called Everything Bagel Mix. And I never used it, never opened it. So let's see what's inside it. I just thought I'd make bagels one time and I never did it yet. So here's the ingredients. Sesame seeds, sea salt, garlic, onion, black sesame seeds, poppy seeds. I'm going to go ahead and sprinkle this on the top of the buns like a minute or two before we pull them out. I think that'll taste good. I just opened it up. Oh, it smells wonderful. See? Yeah, that'll be good on top. Yummy. Can't wait. I'm just going to mix a little tiny bit of maple syrup. As soon as it comes out of here. Oh, just a little bit with some water. And then we're going to go ahead and douse each one of the top of those burgers with it. And then we're going to put the seeds on. So here's what they look like right now. I'm just going to brush it real gently and apply some seeds to the top. Try to get that on each one. Let's see if I can go a little faster. Before it dries. Try to stick them on there. Maybe I should just do one at a time. Sometimes I like to rush things and then I find that it doesn't always work for the best. So take your time, do each one. There we go. These buns look like they're almost ready to come out too. So we want to work quick. I just want to look at the bottom of one of them and see, because it's been in about 12 minutes. Oh yeah, look at that. So I'm only going to leave them in for a few more minutes. Not that long. Just enough for these seeds to stick. Let's see, maybe another minute. Okay guys, now we're going to take these out. I gave them, like I said, another minute here. But they're really looking good. Let's check the bottoms again. Oh, they look so good. Now, what you want to do, you don't want to leave them on the pan because they'll steam. So what you want to do is take it off, get yourself another pan, get your little spatula, get them on there. They smell so good. I wish you guys could smell them. The seeds really made them smell so good. There you go, guys. That's how you make rolls, dinner rolls, or not dinner rolls, hamburger buns. You can use the same dough to make hot dog buns too. Again, they look delicious and they smell good. Hope you guys will try them. Thanks for watching. Show you the inside of the burger bun. They are delicious. We tried one.